In a world where communication is key, it's essential to be aware of the subtle tactics people use to manipulate conversations. Manipulation can take many forms, from flattery to ultimatums, and it's easy to be caught off guard. Recognizing these tactics is not just about protecting yourself. It's about ensuring that your relationships remain healthy, genuine, and based on mutual respect. One such tactic that often goes unnoticed is topic shifting, where the subject of discussion is suddenly changed to avoid responsibility or control the narrative. By learning to identify these manipulative strategies, you can regain control of your conversations and protect your emotional well-being. 1. Elevate your self-worth to recognize fake compliments. Have you ever been showered with compliments that felt a little too perfect, a little too sweet, almost as if they were trying to sell you something? It's like someone is buttering you up with kind words, but you can sense that there's something beneath the surface. The problem is, sometimes those compliments aren't coming from a place of genuine admiration. They could be part of a strategy, a tactic meant to influence you. Have you ever wondered, are they really saying this because they mean it, or is there an agenda behind it? It can be tricky to differentiate between real praise and empty flattery, but the key lies in knowing yourself. When you're aware of your strengths and weaknesses, you develop a kind of inner compass that helps you steer through moments of excessive praise. Think about it like this. Knowing yourself is your shield. It keeps you grounded, preventing you from being swept away by over-the-top compliments that serve someone else's purpose. If you're confident in who you are, you can recognize when someone is just trying to get something from you. Just think about the last time someone went out of their way to compliment you. Did it feel real, or did it feel a little off? When compliments start coming in rapid fire, especially from someone who stands to gain from your approval, it's time to pause and reflect. It's easy to get lost in the flattery, to think, wow, I must be amazing. But is that really the case? Or is someone just using your ego as a way to get closer to their goal? This is where having a strong sense of self becomes crucial. It's like having a built-in radar that helps you detect when something doesn't quite add up. In moments like this, it's okay to acknowledge the compliment. Thank them, of course, but don't let it change your perception of yourself. Compliments are like the breeze on a sunny day, refreshing at first, but if the wind picks up too much, it can throw you off course. You don't need to rely on others' approval to know your worth. You have everything you need inside you. Being able to accept praise without getting lost in it is a skill that keeps your feet firmly planted on the ground. So next time you find yourself being praised excessively, take a deep breath. Look beyond the words and check in with yourself. Does it feel like genuine appreciation, or is there something more behind it? Trust your instincts. If it feels off, don't be afraid to step back and evaluate the situation. Protecting your energy and knowing when to accept compliments and when to question them is part of becoming more self-aware and building stronger, more authentic relationships. You don't need validation from others to feel good about who you are. 2. Be cautious of compliments that come too often. Have you ever been on the receiving end of praise that felt a bit too convenient? You know, that moment when someone keeps telling you how amazing you are, but each compliment is followed by a request, a favor, or a favor they want from you. It can feel nice at first, right? But then you start to wonder, is this really about me? Or is there something else going on here? Here's the thing. Sometimes compliments aren't as innocent as they seem. When someone is showering you with praise after every little thing you do, but always following it up with a request, it's a sign that they might not just be admiring you. They're probably trying to get something in return. It's like a game of give and take, but you're the one doing all the giving, and they're only offering compliments as the bait. It's important to stay sharp and recognize this pattern before it becomes a trap. Imagine you've helped someone out a few times, and every time they say, wow, you're incredible. But after each compliment, there's a new favor they ask for. Maybe it's a small favor at first, like picking up something for them, and then it gets bigger, like helping them with a huge project. The problem isn't that they're asking for help. It's that they're using compliments as a way to soften the deal. They make you feel good about yourself, so you're more likely to say yes to their next request. But here's the catch. Real compliments are given without strings attached. So how do you deal with this? Stay aware. Next time someone heaps praise on you and follows it with a request, pause for a moment. Don't immediately agree out of a sense of obligation. Think about it. Am I helping because I want to or because they've manipulated my emotions with flattery? Recognizing this dynamic early gives you the power to make decisions that are based on your own values, not on the influence of someone else's sweet words. At the end of the day, you deserve genuine compliments, not those laced with hidden agendas. Stay grounded and remind yourself that you are not obligated to say yes just because someone made you feel good about yourself. You're worthy of kindness and respect, and real appreciation doesn't come with a price tag. 3. Keep emotional distance. Don't let compliments sweep you away. When someone showers you with compliments, it can feel amazing, right? But here's a little truth. Don't rush to believe every word. Sometimes, those compliments are like a gentle spring rain, meant to soften you up and make you more susceptible to what's coming next. Ever noticed how some people seem to always know exactly what to say to make you feel good, but you get that nagging feeling that there's an agenda behind it? It's not just about how great you are, it's about what they might want from you in return. Compliments can be tricky, especially when they come in excessive doses. It's flattering at first, but you have to ask yourself, why now? Could it be that they're just buttering you up to ask for a favor later? Maybe they want something from you. Your time, your energy, or your help. The key is to stay aware and don't let the sweetness of their words cloud your judgment. You don't need external validation to know your worth, and flattery doesn't change your value. So, the next time someone heaps praise on you, pause for a moment. Appreciate it. Of course, everyone loves a good compliment. But remember, it's a gift, not a tool to reshape how you see yourself. When someone praises you, you can accept it graciously without letting it shift your self-perception. It's like receiving a beautiful bouquet. It's lovely, but it doesn't define who you are. You are valuable on your own. Compliments are just the cherry on top. When you remember this, you can enjoy the praise without losing yourself in it. And if someone is giving you excessive flattery, don't be afraid to thank them and walk away unaffected. Your worth doesn't come from their words. It comes from within. Stay rooted in who you are, and don't let anyone's compliments change that. 4. Trust yourself, but also have people you trust around you. Sometimes, compliments can leave you feeling unsure. Are they genuine, or just an attempt to manipulate your emotions? It's easy to get caught up in the praise, especially when it feels good, but the trick is to take a step back and ask yourself, is this really true? When in doubt, don't hesitate to reach out to people you trust for their opinion. They can give you a fresh, objective perspective, something that's hard to see when you're in the moment. Think about that one friend who always knows how to help you clear up your confusion. They're the ones who tell you the truth, even when it's hard to hear. Maybe they've pointed out before when someone was flattering you a little too much and you weren't sure how to feel about it. They'll tell you what they really think, helping you see things clearly. This outside perspective is invaluable when you're trying to figure out if a compliment is genuine or if it's wrapped in something else, like a hidden agenda. It's important to have these trusted voices in your life. People who are on the outside looking in and can help you differentiate between kindness and manipulation. Sometimes we get so caught up in the emotions that flattery brings that we forget to check whether it's based on reality. But with the right people by your side, you'll be able to navigate the world of compliments with more confidence. So, next time you're feeling unsure about a compliment, don't hesitate to turn to your reliable circle. They'll remind you of your true worth, helping you stay grounded in who you really are, not who others want you to be. 5. Distinguish between real praise and manipulation. Have you ever received a compliment that felt a little too vague? Something like, "You're just great," or "You're amazing," but there's no real substance to it? It's nice to hear, but sometimes those compliments might be a red flag. A genuine compliment typically has specific details, something that shows the person really sees and appreciates you for who you are. When someone praises you without pointing to anything particular, it could be a subtle attempt to flatter you into lowering your guard. Think about it. Real compliments often come with specific examples. "I love the way you handled that meeting today," or "You really brightened up the room with that idea." These kinds of compliments show someone is paying attention to your actions or qualities in the moment. They're based on something real. But when praise is too broad, it can sometimes be used to distract you from something else, or worse, to make you feel obligated in some way. Don't let the general flattery fool you. While it's nice to hear good things about yourself, it's important to stay aware of why it's being said. When the praise lacks depth, it might just be a way to win you over, making you feel good without any real substance behind it. That's why it's crucial to stay connected to reality and recognize the difference. So, next time someone throws a blanket compliment your way, pause and ask yourself, is this based on something I've actually done or just something they're saying to make me feel good? Stay mindful and trust that compliments rooted in specifics are the ones worth celebrating. 6. Recognize tactics to isolate you. Have you ever found yourself slowly distancing from your friends and family without realizing it? At first, it may seem harmless, but isolation is one of the most subtle and dangerous forms of manipulation. When someone starts questioning your relationships or subtly suggests that you spend more time with them than your loved ones, it's time to pay attention. These manipulative tactics are designed to weaken your support system, leaving you more vulnerable and dependent on the person trying to control you. Think about it. Your friends and family are your anchors. They're the ones who see the real you, the ones who can give you perspective when you start feeling lost or overwhelmed. But when someone isolates you, they take away your safety net. You may start to feel like you're alone in the world, unsure of what's real or what's being twisted to suit someone else's agenda. The truth is, isolating you makes you easier to manipulate because you lose the people who can offer objective advice. So, when you notice someone pushing you to choose between them and your loved ones, take a step back. Are they trying to control you? Are they making you doubt the intentions of people who care about you? This isn't just about spending time with the right people. It's about protecting your emotional well-being. Make it a priority to stay connected to your support network. They're your reality check. They will remind you of who you truly are and help you see through the fog of manipulation. Don't let anyone isolate you from the people who have your best interests at heart. Your relationships are your strength, and keeping them intact is key to maintaining your autonomy and mental clarity. 7. Don't let ultimatums pressure you. Ultimatums are a tactic many of us encounter, whether in relationships, friendships, or even at work. Have you ever been put in a situation where someone says, if you really cared about me, you'd do this, or worse, if you don't do this, we're done? These are more than just words. They are emotional pressure designed to limit your choices, forcing you into a corner with no room to breathe. But here's the thing. Ultimatums are an illusion. The moment someone tries to make you choose between two extremes, you may feel like you're running out of time, but in reality, you always have more time than you think. It's like being caught in a race with no finish line, but when you stop to breathe, you realize you can take control of the situation. Think of it like pressing the pause button in a video game. When everything feels fast-paced and overwhelming, hitting pause lets you take a step back, gather your thoughts, and evaluate your options. In those moments, it's important to slow down and assess the situation objectively. What are the long-term consequences of your decision? Does this ultimatum align with your values? Or is it just pressure meant to force you into compliance? You don't need to rush into a decision. Trust that taking a breath and creating some space will give you clarity. It's also crucial to communicate your feelings and boundaries clearly. Let the other person know how their words are making you feel and what you are and aren't willing to do. This is your way of reaffirming your autonomy. In the end, ultimatums are about control. Recognizing them as such and not giving in to the pressure is how you maintain your freedom to make decisions that are in your best interest. Don't let someone else's timeline dictate your choices. Stay calm, trust your instincts, and remember that you hold the power in any situation. 8. Beware of unfair blame. Blame is one of the most insidious forms of manipulation. It creeps in subtly, making you question your own actions, even when you've done nothing wrong. Have you ever had someone tell you, if you hadn't done this, I wouldn't have reacted that way? Or, you made me feel this way? It's like they're passing the weight of their own emotions or mistakes onto you, forcing you to carry a burden that isn't yours to bear. The trick is to recognize that you don't have to accept this. Just because someone points the finger at you doesn't mean you should feel guilty. Their attempt to shift the blame is about controlling your emotions, making you doubt yourself, and leaving you with a sense of responsibility for their actions. But the truth is, your feelings and perceptions are yours and yours alone. You have the right to stand firm in your own reality, regardless of how others try to twist it. When someone tries to blame you for their emotions or mistakes, it's essential to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, did I truly cause this? Is their reaction really my fault? More often than not, it's not. And if you've done nothing wrong, then there's no reason to accept their guilt trip. You don't have to internalize their issues. It's like holding a shield in front of you to deflect their emotional arrows. Setting boundaries is key. When someone tries to manipulate your feelings of guilt, it's okay to assert your own truth. You can say, I understand you're upset, but I don't accept responsibility for your actions. It's important to communicate clearly, showing that their blame does not control you. You're not responsible for how they choose to react or feel. At the end of the day, emotional manipulation through blame can have long-lasting effects, but only if you let it. Recognizing it, refusing to accept it, and standing in your own truth will protect your mental and emotional well-being. Don't let someone else's inability to take responsibility shift the weight onto your shoulders. You deserve to feel at peace with your own actions and to live guilt-free. 9. Watch out for information overload. In today's fast-paced world, it often feels like we're swimming in an ocean of information. News, social media, work, opinions, and more, all demanding our attention. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the sheer volume of data coming at you from all directions? Maybe you're trying to make a decision, but the more you think about it, the more confusing it becomes. That's not a coincidence. This is exactly what manipulators want, to flood your mind with so much information that you lose clarity and can't make rational choices. It's like being caught in a storm, where the noise and chaos drown out your ability to think clearly. But here's the thing. When you feel overwhelmed by information, it's a sign to pause and take control. This is your moment to step back, breathe, and find your center. It's like trying to read a map in a blizzard. You have to wait for the storm to calm down so you can see the path ahead. The key is to break things down into smaller, more manageable parts. Simplify the overwhelming data and tackle one piece at a time. Suddenly, things aren't so complex anymore, and the fog starts to lift. Remember, manipulators thrive in confusion. When you're disoriented, you're more likely to be swayed by their influence. So, take a moment to check in with yourself. Is this information truly helpful, or is it designed to confuse me? By asking yourself that question, you can start to separate what's important from what's just noise. You have the power to filter through the chaos and choose what's truly worth your attention. Don't be afraid to ask for clarity from others too. Sometimes an outside perspective can cut through the fog and help you see things more clearly. Talking to a friend, a colleague, or even doing your own research can help you gain a fresh viewpoint. It's like asking for directions when you're lost. You don't have to navigate the storm alone. In the end, you are the one who controls how much information you absorb. Protect your mind by recognizing when you're being overloaded and simplifying things to regain your focus. The more you practice this, the better you'll be at navigating the noise of the modern world, making decisions that are clear and true to you. 10. Spot topic shifting to avoid responsibility. One of the sneakiest manipulative tactics in conversations is topic shifting. Have you ever been in a conversation where you were talking about something important, only to have the topic suddenly change with no explanation? It can leave you feeling confused and unsure about how you got off track. This is no accident. It's often a deliberate attempt to avoid responsibility or distract you from the real issue at hand. It's like you're trying to have a serious conversation, and suddenly, you find yourself chasing a new, irrelevant subject. When you notice this happening, take a step back and recognize what's going on. This is your cue to take control of the conversation and steer it back to the original topic. Imagine you're driving down a road, and suddenly the GPS reroutes you without warning. You wouldn't just follow it blindly. You want to get back on course. The same goes for a conversation. Politely but firmly bring the focus back to the issue you were discussing. For example, you could say, I'd like to stick to what we were talking about, or that's interesting, but let's finish this point first. If the topic keeps shifting despite your efforts, don't hesitate to ask, why are we changing the topic? This question is like shining a light in a dark room. It reveals what the person might be trying to avoid. It's your way of calling out the tactic without getting lost in the diversion. By asking this, you show that you're aware of what's going on, and it forces the other person to acknowledge the attempt at evasion. It's important to stay grounded and focused on the conversation's purpose. Don't let anyone distract you from important discussions just because it's uncomfortable for them. Your thoughts and feelings deserve to be heard, and you have the right to stay on track. By recognizing and addressing topic shifting, you're not only protecting your boundaries, but also fostering more meaningful and honest conversations. Stay sharp, and don't let anyone pull the rug out from under you. In conclusion, understanding and recognizing manipulative tactics, such as topic shifting, is crucial for maintaining clarity and authenticity in your interactions. These tactics are designed to distract, control, or avoid uncomfortable truths, but with awareness and assertiveness, you can navigate them effectively. Remember, your voice matters, and it's important to stay focused on what truly matters in any conversation. By questioning shifts in topics, setting clear boundaries, and staying true to your intentions, you empower yourself to foster healthier, more transparent relationships. Don't let manipulation steer your conversations. Take control and let your words be heard. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any of the upcoming exciting stories. If you enjoy the video, please like to show your support, and remember to leave a comment to share your thoughts or suggestions to help me improve. Thank you so much.